Hey, Jeff, how you doing?
I'm doing all right, Matthew. My Bengals lost, but my fantasy teams are, for the most part, doing well, except for those that had to go against Sean Green, of all people.
Oh, man, and usually that's money going against him.
Yeah, it's the 1 week where I have to play him, and all of a sudden he gets 3 TDs. But, hey, Colts defense for the win. That's lesson learned there. You want your running backs going against them.
Wow, unbelievable. Jeff, also condolences on your Reds, too.
Yeah, that's right. You were, I think... Were you here Tuesday? I talk to you
I
Tuesday?
was not here. Yeah, I was off
so
Tuesday.
we lamented that one there a little bit. And I think on Thursday I had some live shows as they were getting eliminated, so that was kind of cool. But so it goes. But that's all right. That's all right. It's a good season. I'm over it, kind of, sort of now. Although if the Cardinals win the World Series, I'll be bitter again.
Interesting. All right, Jeff, let's talk some fantasy football. All right, so.
All right.
So I just want to vent here, Jeff. I made a decent trade. You and I talked about this off air because I went into a draft, same bunch of people for the last 10, 12 years. I had 1 year off. I wasn't in there last year. I had some other stuff to attend to. Couldn't do it last year. I didn't look. All of a sudden, they changed the format of the draft, and I needed to have an extra running back essentially, and I didn't have enough, so I made a trade. I traded away AJ Green for Trent Richardson because I already had Cruz, Decker, and Mike Wallace as my wide receivers. I thought, well, nobody wants Decker and Wallace right now. I got to trade some value. And between Cruz and Green, I think I made the right choice in the long run. But in any event, there you finally have the Browns with a lead in the fourth quarter and a running back to grind it out. And he gets hurt and he doesn't get those yards. And oh boy! And Green
goes off in the very same game, right?
Yeah,
a nice touch. Yeah, and who knew that you could have a flank injury? I started thinking about stakes and all that.
Yeah, really.
But that was frustrating. Seeing Montario Hardesty not just get the vulture touchdown, but look good doing it. That he ran really well in that fourth quarter. So a little concerned. Although he did get stuffed in the subsequent series when they were trying to run out the clock, but. Yeah, we're going to have to be watching that one all week long this upcoming week.
He says he's good. He's already ready to think about next week. But in any event, all right, elsewhere in the NFL, how about the reemergence? I picked this guy off the waiver wire, Jeff, because 2 years ago as a rookie, I had him, and he was great for me. And obviously he fell off last year. I read a couple of reports thinking, I'm going to take a shot on him. He had a decent week. Boom. On my bench, Mike Williams of Tampa Bay. How do you look at this guy moving forward? 113 yards and a touchdown today.
A lot of it was early on against the Chiefs. And, it wasn't a great matchup there. The Chiefs had actually played pretty good pass defense the previous couple of weeks. That's frustrating. It's really frustrating there when you think that you've made the right move. And, Williams isn't a week starter, I don't think. I think you made the right call. I think it was a situation there where it's just, hey, a guy sometimes happens to go off on your bench, so be it. Who are your alternatives?
I got Victor Cruz starting. I wasn't going to start him over him. Yeah, Mike Wallace on Thursday.
Not going to bench him.
And tomorrow night I have Eric Decker going.
Of course, you're going to start him over Williams too. It was a perfectly defensible decision. The thing is, Decker might be ever so more marginal, but you're never going to bench Cruz or Wallace, never, unless they're hurt. Or Eli gets hurt or something, or Big Ben gets hurt. You're never going to find that, absent those situations, you're going to be starting those guys every single time. So it's Williams versus Decker. Decker's done more this season, and Peyton Manning's been great. The last, I think 3 straight 300-plus yard games. How can you bench him? I think you totally made the right call.
All right. Speaking of your Bengals, nice game in a losing cause today for Andy Dalton, fantasy-wise.
Yeah, this is kind of the gulf between fantasy and reality a little bit because he had a bad pick six. He made a couple of, he got sacked, which led to a fumble, and when they were in the red zone too. Those are 2 huge plays in this game. But in real life, this is also the lesson. Garbage time production is your friend. In fantasy, it doesn't matter when you get that production. If your team's down 17, your team's still passing. It's a beautiful thing.
Elsewhere, Jeff, heading into tonight's game, obviously you have Greg Jennings out. So are you high on someone like perhaps Jordy Nelson?
It seems like he's almost hurt by Jennings being out, that they have a harder time getting open deep. He's drawing more the tighter coverage, maybe from a Jonathan Joseph tonight from Houston. It's not a great matchup. Jermichael Finley will play, but he was a game-time decision. They lost Seth Benson. Now it's going to be Alex Green and James Stark, so there's that. I would say that this is a okay setup, not a great one for him. At some point, you figure that the Packers are going to break loose. They're going to hit on the deep ball. Don't know if it happens tonight, though.
All right, Jeff, on Thursday, the Titans win against Pittsburgh, and Kenny Britt looks pretty decent. How do you look at him moving forward?
It's funny. Even after he looked decent and had the game-winning score, he did have a couple of drops in that game, and they said afterward he's still learning the offense, which, from a guy that's, it's a head coach, there's some stability there already. But Britt's never been known as a heady player. So, I think the talent is completely there, and it looks like he's getting fully healthy for the first time. I think he'll be a boom or bust sort of type of player the rest of this year. I think there'll be some other games where he'll be like he was on Thursday night. Be some other games where he'll kind of disappear on you.
Jeff, are the big fantasy days over for someone like Frank Gore? Another disappointing day today. I know they were down early, but only 20 receiving yards today on 4 catches. How do you look at Frank Gore moving forward?
Frank Gore is interesting because he's had a couple of big games this year, and they've tried to limit his workload when they can. When they get a lead, they'll bench him. They'll put in Kendall Hunter, but at the same time, I think you kind of treat him like you treat Michael Turner. You try to find the favorable matchups, and you kind of try to profit off of that. Otherwise, you kind of keep your expectations in check. I don't think week in, week out, he's going to be a producer for you.
All right. How do you view that Buffalo running back situation in their win today? C.J. Spiller does his thing, 88 yards and a rushing TD. Meanwhile, Fred Jackson also picks up a rushing TD on 53 yards and rushing and 30 yards in the air.
Yeah, I think Spiller is the high upside play. I think by the end of the season, he's the guy you're going to want. If you're looking at next year's cheat sheets today, I think he's a top 10 running back. I don't think Jackson's there even. I think that next year you'll see that Spiller's the guy that carries the majority of the workload. I think he's going to be a big-time back. Jackson's good, and he's going to get these short yardage touchdowns. You notice he got the 1-yard touchdown today. But I do think Spiller is the home run play.
All right. We saw the big game last week by Ryan Matthews of the Chargers. He's going into a Monday night matchup against Denver. How do you look at him moving forward the rest of the year? Was that just sort of a breakout game against a bad defense, or do you see him continuing to be more consistent?
It's a little bit of that. I do think that he is it was a great turnstile defense that he was running against in the Saints. But I do think he's also got the skills, the athleticism to be a top 10 back. He's going to get the start on Monday night against your Broncos. I'm curious to see how he does in that matchup. I don't think it's a terrible matchup. I think it's actually a pretty decent matchup for him. And he's definitely a guy that you want to try to acquire. It might be, after what he did against the Saints, it might be late to buy him at a discount, but I would try to nonetheless.
Jeff, we've talked about this guy on the show before, Michael Turner. Only 33 rushing yards today, 6 catches, or 6 yards receiving as well. I know that Oakland was winning early in this game, but you'd figure a guy like that would be more involved, especially at home.
Oh, absolutely. In a tight contest, you'd think they'd have to run the ball a little bit more. Figure the Raiders, they've been a team that traditionally you can run against. Yeah, this was a huge disappointing game here. In fact, the Falcons kind of laid an egg all across the board. Matt Ryan had been money. He was just mediocre this week. Julio Jones had a lot of receiving yards early, kind of disappeared down the stretch, though he was targeted in the end zone. But it was definitely one of those all-around disappointing games. And Turner's just not going to be a 30-carry back. There's going to be games where he'll get his carries, but for the most part, and 30 is probably an improbably high bar to set. I'd say he's not a 20-carry back either. I think it's just he's going to be limited a little bit there. He's going to be out of there in most passing downs, and you're just going to have good games, bad games. And this should have been a good game. That's the thing that's so disappointing. Raiders at home, you got to figure you like that matchup.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, final question for you here, Jeff. Chatting with Jeff Erickson from RotoWire.com. Jeff_Erickson on Twitter.com if you have any fantasy football or even baseball questions for Jeff. Jeff, the Dolphins were victorious today over the Rams. Sam Bradford had a pretty good game, even a rushing touchdown in the losing effort. Put up some pretty good fantasy numbers. It's just hard for me to really wrap my head around him being a top fantasy quarterback. Is that how we should start viewing him?
No, you shouldn't. He's not a finisher, I don't think. And, even today, he got the rushing touchdown, but that was just a quarterback sneak. It wasn't like any special mobility or anything like that. They outgained the Dolphins by more than a 2-1 margin and still put 14 points on the board. So you look at it from that point of view, and there's some work left to be done. This defense is a lot better than it was last year. That's going to put the Rams in the position to win some games, but they're not going to be a scoring machine. So I wouldn't be too optimistic out of this. In fact, the fact that he got to 300 yards and still only put up 14 points on the board worries me a little bit.